what extent are Americans' financial situations motivating you to make a deal?
Not even a little bit. The only thing that matters when I'm talking about Iran, they can't have a nuclear weapon. I don't think about Americans' financial situation. I don't think about anybody. I think about one thing. We cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. That's all.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here. And Americans across this country of ours are struggling to make ends meet. And a whole lot of people are losing hope on a daily basis. We're sending our sons and daughters off to fight in a war that we should not be in. Spending billions on the military-industrial complex while ignoring domestic issues. Groceries are through the roof. Gas prices hit you like a 2x4 every time you pull up into that pump. Rent feels impossible, and buying a home has become a daydream for many working families already burdened with their own financial issues. Insurance keeps climbing. Utility bills don't care what your paycheck or lack thereof looks like. And every month feels like another round of financial triage. A lot of Americans already felt like they were treading water, just barely keeping up. And now it's even worse. Folks are having to work longer, pick up shifts, push the credit card a little harder, and put fewer groceries in the shopping cart. All while rich Republicans are demonizing folks on EBT who want to buy a candy bar for their kid. Millions of fed-up Americans are hoping that maybe next month gets easier. Maybe they can catch up and save something or fix their car. For a wide swath of America, and especially for those in red states that voted for Trump, this is a reality. But as long as Trump's non-college educated base keeps falling for the lies and keeps voting for this corruption, not much changes in their trailer parks and hollers. The Trump faithful will keep on living the delusion that Trump is sent by God, and they'll keep on paying the higher prices, thinking that they are spreading freedom. They aren't. They are spreading an infection in society. And that's what makes this so infuriating. A lot of people actually thought that relief was coming. They thought affordability was making a comeback. They thought somebody like Trump, the businessman, understood what it felt like to sit at the kitchen table and do the math, wondering what gets paid now and what gets pushed off until later. They actually believed that Donald Trump was going to fight for them and punish the libs while doing it. But when Trump gets one of those gotcha questions that he cries so much about, that's the label he uses to deflect direct questioning from the press corps. He pretty much pokes a stick in all of his supporters' eyes and tells them that he doesn't think about them or care about what they're going through. Think about that for a minute. It should bother you.
Mr. Comer, what do you make of Donald Trump saying today in the press conference that he doesn't think about Americans' financial situation?
I don't know that he said that.
Yeah, he said it at the mics during shopper time.
That's not what I hear him. Every time I talk to him, he's focused on affordability. So,
what about gas prices, though? That seems to be like what a lot of people are talking about. Nothing.
Orange Jesus doesn't care about his flock, but his MAGA sheep keep following him. I mean, who keeps falling for this crap? Did the Trump cult grow up in alcoholic and abusive households where promises were made all the time to mend sore feelings but never followed through on? I mean, what keeps them holding onto the Trump delusion? What keeps them believing in the BS that Trump and his mouthpieces like James Comer keep selling? It is a damn quandary. We deserve so much better, not this. I don't think about American families who are struggling. When you think about it and compare, presidents are supposed to think about that stuff. That's literally part of the job, right? Gas prices, grocery prices, inflation, economic pressure, whether working folks can actually survive the policies coming out of Washington. Instead, what the American people got was Donald Trump and James Comer trying to blow smoke up everyone's ass while they're wearing their own version of Melania's jacket. I really don't care. Do you? And maybe that's the bigger point here. Just how far off course the Republican Party has gone.
Americans 90-plus days delinquent. This is new data put out by the Fed. On credit cards, 13% on auto loans, 5.5%. You basically got to go back to COVID and you got to go back to the great financial crisis to get to times where we have seen these numbers. And here we are at just about everything that we've talked about here, Congressman, is about foreign issues. Is it time for the President of the United States, especially with what he said today, to turn back and focus harder on issues domestically with people's pocketbooks, especially heading into November?
I think the president is focused on affordability. He inherited high inflation from Biden and a Democrat Congress that overspent. He's trying to do everything he can to put America first. He put the tariffs on. That probably didn't do anything to help with affordability.
Remember when Mitt Romney and Barack Obama were debating and people made a huge deal over whether Romney knew the price of a gallon of milk? That used to matter. Being seen as out of touch with everyday Americans used to be politically dangerous. It used to be disqualifying if voters thought that you were insulated by wealth and privilege, that you had no clue what ordinary people were actually dealing with. But now, Now we've got billionaires and their political enablers strutting off to China to make deals, openly telling struggling Americans in so many words that your hardship isn't even on the radar. Don't bother them with grocery prices. Don't bother them with gas prices. Don't bother them with rent, insurance, utility bills, or the fact that working people are drowning while trying to hold on to some version of the American dream. And people like James Comer, they prop that up. They normalize it. They enable it. They stand there with a straight face and try to sell that indifference back to the very people being crushed by it.
New poll out today as Trump increased the cost of living 77% overall. Yes, including slightly more than half of Republicans. Congressman, what say you about those numbers there and what the president needs to do?
Well, whoever's president's going to take it on the chin with respect to inflation and affordability. President Trump's been president for a year and a half now, so it's his economy, even though he inherited a bad one from the Biden administration with respect to rising prices and inflation. The president's focused on that. I mean, with respect to Iran, what I think he meant, the reason we're in Iran is they don't need a nuclear weapon. That's why we're in Iran.
That's what makes this bigger than one stupid quote or one hallway walkaway. This is about a political movement that's no longer even pretends to care about the daily struggles of the people it claims to represent. This is where James Comer really earns his paycheck as a Republican Party's cleanup man. Because when News Nation points out that the majority of Republicans themselves say Trump has made the cost of living worse, what does James Comer do? Does he acknowledge reality? Does he admit maybe the people feeling the pain every day might actually know what they're actually talking about? Of course not. Here comes the same tired song and dance. Well, whoever's president is going to take it on the chin with respect to inflation and affordability. Really, James? So now accountability exists? Interesting, because Republicans never seemed confused about who to blame when Democrats were in office. And then comes the next excuse. Trump inherited a bad economy. Congress overspent. Hold on a second. Which Congress are we talking about, James? The one that you were a part of? You don't get to act like some helpless bystander who just wandered in from the parking lot. You were there, you voted, you participated, and now you want Americans to believe none of this belongs to the people currently in charge. And who exactly do you think you're talking to? Maybe this recycled nonsense works for the MAGA diehards, the Forgiato Blow Ballroom Tattoo fan club, but you are not talking to Americans who can read a grocery receipt, see gas prices, or connect the dots without needing James Comer to translate reality for them. Comer's out here like some circuit-riding preacher selling Republican snake oil, telling everybody this shit sandwich tastes delicious while ordinary Americans are getting hammered. People are sick and damn tired of this routine. Same arrogance, same contempt, same I really don't care. Do you? Energy. Yeah. And that's really what this comes down to, isn't it? We are sick and tired of being lied to by people who think they can stand in front of a camera, repeat the same tired talking points, and somehow convince Americans not to believe their own lived reality. We see the grocery receipts, we see the gas prices, we see the rent, we feel the squeeze every single day, while billionaires and their political errand boys act like this is all some abstract debate. No, James, this is real life for millions of Americans. And the truly disgusting part, instead of actually helping people, they keep us fighting sideways. Fight over fluoride, fight over vaccines, fight over whether some struggling family bought a candy bar with EBT. Anything to keep you from looking up. Anything to keep you from asking why the people with all of the money and all the power keep getting richer while working people drown. That's the scam. That's the con. And James Comer is just one more smug salesman pushing it. Americans deserve better than this corrupt, arrogant, contemptuous bullshit. And that is an absolute fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.